It's the start of 2024, and about this time, people usually start thinking about their goals for the next year. But I'm here to tell you why that's not the best idea. Let's talk about it. Alright, mate, and welcome to the BritSpeakPod, the podcast designed to help you understand British life, British culture, and of course, British English. So, let's get cracking. Hey up, mate, how you doing today? I'm not too bad. Thanks for asking, and welcome to episode 25 of the BritSpeakPod, the first episode of 2024. Happy New Year. But yeah, today we're talking all about New Year's resolutions and why I think it's a bit of a waste of time. Anyway, before we get into all that good stuff, if you're new around here, my name is Dan. Nice to meet you. If you can do me a favour and please subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts from, I'd appreciate that. And if you're not new around here, welcome back, my friend. Nice to see you again. I hope you had a good week and a happy new year to everyone. It's 2024. Let's get started and let's hopefully have a good year, yeah? But it's about this time when people start thinking about the new year. You kind of reflect on 2023 and what were good and what were bad and what you want to change. And then you do something called a New Year's resolution. And for those that you don't know what this is, a New Year's resolution is like a promise to yourself in the new year. Usually at the beginning of January, we all think about what we want to change, what we want to make better, what we want to stop doing in our life. And we promise that this year is finally going to be the year that we fix it. We are going to save that money that we keep promising we're going to save. We're going to lose that weight. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to stop smoking and drinking so much. We're going to basically fix all the problems in our life in the next 12 months. And that is what we call a New Year's resolution. Now, in theory, not a bad idea, is it? Making some goals for the year and trying to make your life better. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that New Year's resolutions don't really work. The joke in England is that you make a New Year's resolution and it lasts about 3 days before you just give up and you're back sat on the sofa, not going to gym, and you're eating chocolate and drinking a beer and whatever else that you said you wouldn't do for the next 12 months. So New Year's resolutions for me never worked, never really got it. But about this time, if you go on Facebook, you'll see loads of people posting things like, New Year, new me. Nah, mate, New Year, same old you. That's how it's going to be. We all know it. But why don't New Year's resolutions really work then? You know, what's the problem with a New Year's resolution? Well, I was thinking about that this week. I'm like, why don't New Year's resolutions really work? And I kind of broke it down into 3 main reasons, to be honest. For me, first of all, it's a bad time of year. January 1st is not a good time to be trying to change your life. You know, you're probably coming off a New Year's Eve party where you've had a great time and you've had a break from work and you still got a bit of an hangover, so you're a bit emotionally frail right now. You know what I'm saying? You just had a good break, everything's good, you know, and you still got some of that happiness left over from the holidays. That's not a good time to try and change your life. Also, it's January, man. It's cold outside. It's dark. You've just woke up to the fact that you've got to go back to work for another year. You haven't got another holiday for ages. And that's a mountain that you've got to climb. So when you're at the bottom of a mountain, it's pretty hard to motivate yourself to change your life, you know. So basically, January is a pretty crap time of year to start making New Year's resolutions, in my humble opinion. Next, we kind of put way too much pressure on ourselves. You know, you can't change your whole life in 1 year. You know, you're not going to be able to lose 20 stone or stop smoking completely. I mean, maybe you can stop smoking. I don't know. You can't save £1 million in a year. You know, we put these massive goals in front of us. And then after a week where we've not really made any progress, we're like, I can't be arsed with this. Bin it off. I'm not doing this anymore. And you get disheartened because your goal is way too big for one person to achieve in 1 year. You expect way too much of yourself. And it's a recipe for disaster. It's never going to work. You know, basically, that's one of the problems. Your goals are too big. Goals, people focus on the result of the goal way more than the actual doing the goal. And that's kind of the problem, you know? People set these big goals, especially language learners, like, oh, I'm going to be fluent in 6 months. Nah, mate, probably not. Not unless you're some kind of genius. It's not going to work that way because it's too big of a goal and you're only focusing on the end result. Language learning or anything generally worth doing in life, it's the journey, it's the doing it that's important, not the result. The result takes care of itself, you know. If you happen to enjoy going to the gym every day, yeah? If you're one of them people, I'm not one of them people, but if you're one of them people and you enjoy going to the gym every day and you go to the gym every single day, that's your goal. I'm going to go to the gym today. That's your goal. A natural outcome of that goal is that you're going to get fit. You're going to build muscles. Like, it's just natural. The goal shouldn't be to build a load of muscles. The goal should be go to the gym, right? So, I mean, I've talked about this in a previous episode on the podcast. It was episode 7, so quite a while ago now, talking about why language learning goals may be holding you back. So maybe go and listen to that episode if you're interested. But basically, focus on the doing, not the outcome. And that's a big problem with New Year's resolutions. We focus solely on the outcome. So, of course, it's not going to go very well, right? But I know that a lot of you guys listening to this probably have made New Year's resolutions and you sat there thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. That's not a good idea. No, it is a good idea. I think it's just a case of adjusting the goals to fit you a little better, to be honest. Now, instead of setting these huge year-long New Year's resolutions, this is what I suggest for you guys if you want to improve your English this year. First of all, don't focus on the outcome. Like I said, focus on behavior-based goals. So your goal shouldn't be to become fluent. Your goal should be something like, I'm going to study 10 minutes today. That's it. And then tomorrow, my goal is to study 10 minutes today, whatever it is. You know, listen to a podcast, watch Netflix, learn some vocabulary, whatever you do to improve your English, that's fine. But the goal shouldn't be to become fluent. The goal should be, I'm going to study 10 minutes every day. That is much more manageable. That's much more achievable. And it's something you can actually measure. You know, you can mark it off on your calendar when you've studied 10 minutes every day. And 10 minutes might not seem like a lot. In one, you know, today, 10 minutes is probably not going to make that much difference. And tomorrow, 10 minutes is probably not going to make that much difference either. If you do it every single day for a year, that's a lot of 10 minutes and they all add up. And eventually you'll realize that's a lot of progress, mate. I can probably speak English way better than I could before because of that 10 minutes every day. So throw away all your goals related to the result and focus on behavior-based goals. And that's the other thing as well. It's like, don't worry too much about the progress you're making. The progress is the outcome. We're not really bothered about the outcome. That'll take care of itself. Focus on the repetition. Focus on the consistency. Focus on the showing up every day as much as you can, right? So if your goal, like mine, is to study for 10 minutes a day, do it every day. Don't miss one. If you do miss one, get straight back onto it the next day. Don't give up. The only way that you can fail in learning a language is to give up. If you keep going, if you never stop, you keep going, the only possible outcome is to succeed. There's nobody has failed learning a language if they studied every single day. Nobody. Anybody can learn a language. It's the consistency and the repetition that you need to focus on, not the language itself. And the progress will just naturally happen and you don't need to worry about it. It'll take care of itself, right? So that's the other thing. And the last thing, I mentioned it a little bit, is be okay with fucking up every now and then. We're all humans. We're not cyborg robots that are great at, being the same day, the same time, every single day on like clockwork. Nah, I'm a human. Some days I have bad days. Some days I just can't be arsed and I want to just watch TV instead of studying English. That don't make me a bad person. That don't mean I'm going to fail. It just means, okay, today weren't my day. That's life, innit? The key is not to give up because that happens. A lot of people, they'll study for 25 days in a row. Wicked. But day 26, for whatever reason, they can't do it. Like, oh, I failed now. May as well give up. Back to zero. Let's just stop. I know I do it. You probably do it as well. Loads of people do things like that. But that's kind of bullshit, isn't it? Like, if you fall and you lose your streak or you don't do it for a day, one day's not going to be a problem. Just get back on it. Don't get back on the horse as quick as you can. 2 days is not going to kill you, but a week might, not kill you, but you know what I mean. A bit dramatic. I didn't mean to be that dramatic, but you know what I mean? Like, if you show up the majority of days, if we're talking 90% of the days of the year, that's massive. So be all right with life getting in the way and don't push yourself too hard because there's no point, mate. Life's short. There's no point pushing yourself too hard and being hard on yourself because you're doing a great thing. You're trying to learn a language and you're putting your effort into finding a way to communicate with other people in this world, and that's a beautiful thing. So don't be so hard on yourself, to be honest. So that is why I think New Year's resolutions don't work, and that is why I think you should reassess setting goals at this time of year. And I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know how you feel about that. So you can reply to the comment here on Spotify, the little question and answer thing, or you can send me a message wherever you're listening to this. I'd love to hear from you. So yeah, for me, my resolutions this year, I mean, if I'm totally honest, 2023 has been a bit of a crazy year and a lot of my habits have kind of fallen by the wayside. I don't think I've studied Japanese properly for couple of months now, and I started trying to learn Portuguese, but it's really slow and I need to book my ideas up. I need to try a bit harder. So this year I'm going to try to spend at least 10 minutes a day studying either Japanese or Portuguese. I also want to get back to the gym. In December has been a bit of a wild month, so I've not been to the gym too much, so I want to start going back to the gym every single day, well, every weekday. I'm not a crazy person, I don't go every day. But start going back to the gym and try and be a little bit better with money. I can't really be, I started my own business this year, so money were weird this year, but it's stabilizing a bit now. So hopefully I start trying to save a bit of money, maybe, 10,000 yen a month or something. So just a little, just to kind of start building that habit. So what about your guys then, outside of studying? Have you got some goals that you want to set yourself this year? Just if you do, be nice to yourself and be okay with not being perfect, yeah? And if you are interested in the idea of studying English for 10 minutes a day, I've got you, bro. Sometimes it's hard to know what to study for 10 minutes a day. And I came up with a study schedule cheat sheet where I've got loads of ideas of things that you can do in English every single day, 10 minutes a day. That'll help you improve your fluency and your speaking skills and your understanding, right? So you can get that completely for free. The link is in the show notes. It's britspeak.co/study schedule. I'll give you loads of ideas on what you can study and how to actually do it. And I'll also talk a little bit about what kind of things work best for different kind of language learners because, everybody's different. And we've all got different ways of learning, so what works for one person might not work for you. So I kind of came up with some ideas that work for different kinds of learners. And like I said, completely free. You can get it now. Links in the show notes. But yeah, check it out. I'm sure you'd find it useful. And hopefully it'll help you study that 10 minutes of English every day. And then in a year's time, you'll be way further along on your language learning journey. And that's going to be pretty good if you ask me. So yeah, good stuff. Thanks for listening today. And, start of 2024, I'm looking forward. I've got some great episodes coming up. Next week, we've got an episode called It's Not Your Fault That You Can't Understand Native Speakers. And we're going to talk about why it's hard to understand natives. And I've got a couple of good special guests coming up as well in the next couple of months. So I'm pretty excited about that. Once again, wanted to wish you an happy new year. Thanks so much for being part of the BritSpeak family and doing your best to improve your English. Wicked stuff, mate. So thanks a lot for listening today, but that's it for this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you there.